Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mimosa Hotline, where Ronnie Bartles, your business strategist, myself, Ashley Rhoda, your brand strategist, go live every Thursday in what we call Mimosa Hotline, where we talk about raw, real, unfiltered, real life business, marketing, branding, and anything that kind of comes up in our week. I'm getting too good at that. That's it. Okay. So join us in the comments. If you're live with us, hello. If you're watching the replay, hello. We've got multiple opportunities for you to connect with us. We have the chat that is the comment section, I guess, that's live for you at any time. Like, even if it's 2 weeks since that episode and you want to leave a comment for us, please do. We love engaging with you, hearing from you. We also have the hotline that you can actually call in, leave voicemails, play with it, have fun with it, ask questions that you wouldn't want to admit out loud, or whatever your excuse is for calling the hotline. Just call the damn thing. Try it. It'd be fun. We also are offering our 2-for-1 BOGO experts of 2 of us showing up, Ronnie and myself, for an hour for BYOB, aka Bring Your Business, and get our expert strategy, insights, and recommendations for you. $250. Like,
you
don't
can't
tell
beat it.
You totally can. Like, it's not a thing. And then you were like, oh, wow, that was reasonable. Okay, cool. Yeah, we are not trying to break banks over here. We're trying to support you. So we have that. Let's see. Anything else?
I mean, that pretty much covers it, I think. At least for now.
Swag. We both have it, cuz yay, cheers. I love it. All right, I'm gonna do my little tech thing and see if I don't mess it up.
I mean, we'll see. Tech is never our friend, really.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, we'll see, because like you had no faith. I was like, excuse me.
No. It's not about it's not about you. It's about
I did it. We're good. So comment section is up and available for you if you join us. Great. Live or on the replay again. So shout out to our little follower besties. I miss everyone. Where is everybody? We've had Violetta, we've had Angie, we've had Michelle, we've had Jen. Who else do we usually have hanging out with us?
Kathleen. Kathleen.
Yep. And Edie. Oh my gosh, that took me a second. You know when you can see their face, so you can't think of the name. Sorry, that's all right.
I mean, that happens to, I'm terrible with names, so that actually happens to me quite often.
Yeah, me too. I want to be good at it though. I want to be that person, but I'm not.
I have come to the resolution that I'm not, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna accept it for what it is.
Yeah. I try. So. Well, topics for us to discuss today. First one is just so vital and so important. Have we all seen the new TV series called Merpeople? I am so excited about this. Ronnie and I have been talking about it on the back end. Obviously, I binged it because it's required as a water person, as a water baby growing up being a competitive swimmer. Like, the second I saw it, I was like, nothing else matters. I binged all 4 episodes like in one sitting right there. Ronnie has a life and she's only 20 minutes in. So I have feels, but I won't share.
Like, I've heard shit this week. Let me tell you.
That's why when you tell everybody what's going on, it'll make more sense. But right now I get to just be evil. So, though the show is about a series of creatives that get into tales, aka mertales, and are professional mermaids. And there's men and women, and it's this really amazing show about A, the artistry, B, the history, the industry, the influencing side of it, and then also just like their personal lives and how they've come to being a mermaid professionally, which I freaking love. And I have to say, when I was little, I was this huge swimmer, and my dad used to take quarters and he would throw them into the various pools. So I competed all over the country. So we were always at a hotel with a pool, figuring it out, whatever. And he would throw in quarters and I'd have to fetch them and get them. And they were like my treasure I got to keep. And of course I played underwater mermaid, duh.
Of course.
But it was like a thing. I don't know how anyone didn't, but whatever. I definitely will have opinions if you never got in a pool and thought you were a mermaid, but that's okay. And my favorite part of this whole series is they talk about their mersonas, which is like a mermaid persona and how they figure out what their act is, what their look is. And it reminds me a little bit of like drag queens when they realize their kind of aesthetic and style and whatever, but this is like a sea creature. And in one episode, they have all of them showcased, and it's really fascinating to see the ones that stand for cause and the ones that stand for more artistry, like they're just beautiful mermaids. Someone that's like stands for all of the waste that's in the waterways and things like that. And so it made me think again about branding. And do you have a platform, or do you have like a pretty picture? like what is your image and what's your brand? And I mean, I eat, breathe, and sleep this shit. It's just kind of, I don't know. I seem to find it everywhere.
Yeah.
And in Merpeople. Branding matters. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I thought the same thing as soon as even though I'm only 20 minutes into it, like that was my first reaction was like, I've known some people in the drag industry, and I'm like, this is very similar to kind of that industry as far as like, it's an entertainment industry, it's a creative, artistic entertainment industry. And it was just very similar. That was my first thought. But I just think it's funny that like you started watching it, you Voxered me about it. And I was like, oh, remember like when I was a kid, we went to this place, I think it was called Witchy Watching. And you were like, that's it. And I had started it. And of course, that's the opening scene. And I'm like, I remember that. I've been there.
I'm like so jealous you got to experience it. Like I didn't. And now, I had such a great childhood, but where were my, how'd you miss that? Like we traveled all over the world. Like I had the best childhood, we had like an annual Disneyland pass, like all the things. How did we miss this? Like, this is something that would have been like so obvious for me. It's interesting that we missed it, only other than it being in Florida, but we took cruises out of Florida. Coast. How did we?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
we like left on cruises from Florida multiple times. So I'm just like, where did we miss?
Like living on the East and the West Coast that way, like yes, you did probably a lot on the East Coast, but it's not like living here where you think about like the things that are here,
right? Like maybe we would know like Knott's Berry Farm,
right?
That's more.
I have no clue about it, like I have no idea about it.
That's amazing. Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
So
cool.
like it's that kind of it's that kind of theme. Like, and so when we went, I was probably maybe 10 or 12. And for some reason, we didn't go to Florida a ton, but we had done, the traditional Disney World tour. You go to, to Orlando and you stay in the park and you do Disney World for 5 days or whatever it is. And we had done that as kids. But for some reason, my parents on this one were like, let's just drive around and go to all of these amusement parks in Florida that are not Disney. It was a whole week. Yeah. And we hit a different one every day. So one day was the day that we went to see the mermaids. And then, then I think the next day we might've been at SeaWorld or, something like that. Yeah. Like it was very specific, not Disney stuff.
And that kind of makes sense because like we were West Coast and we went to Disneyland, but never went to Disney World necessarily.
Yeah, so I've never been to Disneyland. Yeah, I've been to Disney World a few times, but I've never been to Disneyland.
A moment of silence for that. Okay. And same, I get it, but like, sorry, I straight legit just got that distracted. Sorry. The guys that are in the scaffolding on that building next to me, they're up at the top, like rearranging the anchor points. And I just wasn't expecting humans up there. So I just got a little distracted. Sorry. Anyways, hello viewer. We see you. Hello. Say hi in the comments if you want to join our conversation. And oh my God, they like have an entire language. Like I so need to be a part of this because me with all my code words and everything, but they're like, shalom, and it means hello. And then they've got like, you be my shellster.
Yeah, I think, I saw this.
I was
mermaid
sister. No, Seaster. Sorry, Seaster, not
Seaster. Yeah, that's what
I was like.
Seaster.
This is it. Like these
are my people.
Oh my God. Yeah, because I don't know that I have the desire to do drag, but I have the desire to be a mermaid yes, I will swim, I will splash my little tail, and I would be damn good at it. That's all I gotta say. But it also made me think of the cross training, you know?
I was just getting ready to say like that the first even 20 minutes of the first episode, like there's a lot of strength training in that. Like this is athletic. Like,
oh
you
yeah,
have to, you not only do you have to like work on your strength to do like moves and stuff, but you have to work on your breath because they have to be underwater much longer than a normal person would be underwater for something.
yeah.
Like
I think the cross training would be, oh no. Oh shoot. I'm having that day where I can see everything. I just can't think of the words. Synchronized swimming, synchronized swimming and breath control, because one, you also gymnastics, you have to be hyper flexible. You have to have that synchronized swimming ability of just how they can hold their bodies out of the water, also in the water, and just the mobility of that. And yeah, athleticism, 100%. I don't think they even gave them any credit as far as that. I mean, they kind of do. They talk more about hypothermia because the actual aquariums are cold because of the fishies. And I was like, oh my gosh, when you find those like hobbies, specialties, whatever it is, and you just become like instantly addicted and you must know everything. That's kind of how I feel.
Well, I mean, that like if you think about it, so like they put on shows, there are multiple of mermaids in a show, but they get underwater and they have to coordinate, and they are blind and deaf underwater. And still have
not
to,
exactly, but yes.
I mean, I mean, not completely, but obviously like those senses are hindered because you're underwater.
I know. I think every swimmer just internally giggled slightly at you, but yes. I'm sorry. Yes and no. I mean, like you can hear coaches, you can hear underwater. It's slightly gargled. But yeah, I don't know. I had like that moment of the 3 blind mice under there, like doing this routine. Okay, I guess so. But I was thinking too, the real bitch of it is salt water, opening your eyes under salt water. And I was like, how are they doing this? Now we used to have things. So one, I'd be curious if contacts help. I don't know if that's a thing, but number 2 would be, we used to, and I saw them doing acidity tests for their eyes. We used to do milk in our goggles, and you like fill your goggles, put your goggles on, and then like do an eye wash in your goggles. And like, no one would know that unless you were a legit swimmer. Like, who the frick does that? I'd be curious. Anyone that ever watches this show, if you put in the comments that you ever did the milk eye wash in your goggles, I want to know you because it's a thing. And like, the ear infections and the sinus infections that they get from pressurizing and going under, because this is also not masked, and like not scuba gear where you can pressurize and go slow, like, and some of them do it in open fresh water. Like, I'm hooked, clearly.
I mean, if I remember seeing the show, granted it's been 30 years ago. I mean, to be honest, it's probably been 30 years ago. I feel like they stayed underwater like most of the time, and when they needed oxygen, they would grab, an oxygen like scuba thing to take a breath and hold their, to keep them doing the show. I don't remember them going to the surface often for that and coming back down.
No, the show talks about that. They have hoses, but they also have water. I forget what the name was, but air lockers. So they turn like those metal storage containers upside down and create an air pocket so they can swim into that too. But the crazy thing they were talking about at Wishy Washy is how there used to be, I don't think I'm over exaggerating, like a 20-meter tube they had to swim down and out through. Like, you panic in that? Mermaid plug. Like, what do you do there? Like, how do you get the mermaid out? And it's like, I don't know. That seemed like a highly risk or high risk job.
I mean, it is. Yeah.
I hope that this creates like a surge for like Cirque du Soleil. I know they have their O show, the water show,
Mhm.
but like maybe there could be a variation or addition or something, or any of the parks. Like we just need this. I need this. I don't care about what other people need. I'm happy. Doesn't take much for me, let me tell you. But yeah, and don't you fret. I even started thinking about what the Chicago mermaid of this lake would look like, because I don't know if it's Michigan Lake or Lake Michigan yet. I'm still working on that, but whatever that thing is, I would hop in there with a tail for sure. And I know you told me I wasn't allowed to go boat hitchhiking, but come on, if I put on a tail, do you know how many boats I could get on?
Hitchhiking. It's not safe. Sorry.
Totally fine. Oh my God. And there's like the perfect spot too, right here by the harbor. I was like, hi. Like, pick me up.
Hitchhiking on any sort of vehicle, land or water, does not seem
Mhm.
safe.
Like
This is
water
how
is-
all the true crime podcasts start.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna find a different friend and I'll do it with them. There's totally a way. Like, and they were all,
maybe
bougie and stuff.
Stephanie will be up for that, but not me.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gonna hop on a sailboat one of these days. Just swim out and be like, can I hang out with you? Just be like, oh yeah. Put like a little flask in my suit and just swim out and be like, I came prepared. It'd be so good. I don't know what your sense of adventure is. I mean, yeah, on land, don't do it. In the water, every day.
That doesn't seem different to me for some reason.
It's totally different. Totally different. They're nicer. Like, and don't go for like the sketch ass like fisher boats, because that's just gonna get you hooked.
I mean,
But,
I guess
like,
if
go
they
for,
can
like,
afford a
the
boat,
yacht, the sailboat, the like party boat, the like, as long as you can pull yourself out, like meaning onto the boat and also behind the boat, freaking swim up. Be like, hey,
I mean, I guess if they can afford to have a boat, they're at least got some money.
it's not even about money, it's about gas. Who has gas? That's all you need in the water.
Seriously,
Gas.
God.
Clearly you have not done this if you're out looking for money. Money is not in the water. Maybe on the boats or on the well, that too, like yachts, you call them boats. Like, I always thought that was so interesting. Like the mental complex of boats, like there's a certain level that they're, oh, it's a ship and then it's a boat and then it's like a yacht, like how they, like the bigger it is, it's just a boat versus when you think it would be called a ship, they don't call it that. It's like opposite lingo. It's like the smaller the little tugboat, that's a boat. And then you get, or no, that's a ship, but then you get up to the things and that's a boat. And you're like, okay. I don't know. Obviously, I've been landlocked for too long. If I'm getting this excited, I mean, I'm like at the door clawing my way out. Let me out. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's all. Yeah. Do you want to tell everybody what you've been up to?
I mean, I get, yeah, sure. It's
if
been,
you don't want to.
No, I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine talking about it. But it's been a May, let me tell you.
Yeah. It's been a May, yeah.
It's been a May. Yeah, so first MRI happened. I went to the doctor. Like, it's not anything serious. It's just a tendon strain up in here, and PT and time is all it'll take. So, I mean, if that's the outcome, like that's the best outcome I guess I could get.
Definitely. But there's going to be some fun in that too. That PT is not fun.
Yeah. So I still have to go make my first PT appointment yet. But I hadn't done that because I've been sick for a week.
Yeah.
And thought I was sick and ended up, I was, when I went to go get the results of this. So I went to, one of those medical buildings that has multiple like medical offices in it. So like it's on the third floor. I go see the orthopedic doctor for the shoulder and I'm like, you know what? I'm here. There's a walk-in clinic downstairs. I'm just gonna took the elevator down, walked across the hall, and went into the walk-in clinic, and was like, I have abdominal pain, like my appendix ruptured again that I don't have.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't have it. This is what it feels like. And so anyway, I've had that since last week, and I'm not 100% sure if it was connected to when I was sick earlier in the month, but I don't think so. I think they're two separate instances. I think I actually had a stomach bug then, and this is a whole separate thing. So they sent me for an ultrasound yesterday with the instructions that if it got any worse, I needed to go to the emergency room right away. And so I go and do my ultrasound yesterday, and the tech, who's not actually supposed to tell you what it is because she's not a doctor, I mean, she wasn't a minute into it, and she was like, oh yeah, I think I know what this is. And and then says, I can't tell you. And I was like, I memean, and I get why she can't, like, it's a liability. She's not a doctor, the whole thing. But anyway, she's like doing the whole thing. And she's like, well, they ordered this, so, I'll do the whole like stuff. I mean, it was, yeah, there was a lot. And so she's asked, we're like just talking. She asked me, she's like, do you strain a lot? And I knew as soon as she asked me that question what it was. And I was like, well, I have a new dog. She's a puller. I work out like 5-6 days a week. Like, I'm very active.
All the packaging and
Right.
shipping.
Yeah. I'm covering it by way of Charleston. So I'm doing all of the packaging and shipping there. And like, I'm very active in the last month. And so she's like, and, I was like, and then just like kept going. And then a few minutes later, she was like, do you want me to tell you what I think it is? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, I think it's a hernia. And I was like, when you asked me about straining, I knew it. I knew that's what you were thinking. And she's like, yeah, that's kind of what I think it is. And I was like, okay. She was like, but I got to send it over back to the doctor you saw at urgent care. They have to look at it. They'll give you like the official, like diagnosis / what to do next. So
or ulcer of some sorts of not so fun things. Yeah.
So, I mean, the one thing I told Alan today is, with a hernia, that's an injury, not a disease.
Yeah, which seems to be a small pattern
of injuries. Correct. I mean, I was sick one time, so that was
but an injury is still sick. It's still a disease, like a thing. But please stop hurting yourself. That'd be nice.
So I actually will say, I still have pain, but I feel a lot better today than I did. And I don't know if that's just because now I kind of know what it is. And so now psychologically, I'm feeling better about it. So my whole body's feeling better about it, but I mean, I still have pain. It's just not what it was.
That's good. And hey, any mental relief, even if it is relief, that's better, right? And Angie's with us. She says, that's sex, Ronii. Be kind to yourself. Yeah. Listen to what Angie says, because she won't listen to me. We were talking about multitasking, and I think a lot of people can appreciate this. Like, I should probably share mine because that was so ridiculous and funny at the same time, but it's not appropriate. But right? Like, I'm just like, okay, I need to check myself. But many of us, ourselves included, and pretty much everyone we know, because like attracts like, we are ridiculously talented multitaskers. Like, it's not like where the average person would consider, 2 or 3 tasks multitasking, we're at like 10 and 50, not even counting how many tabs are open, but like, we're multitasking. And so I was telling Ronii, I was like, wonder if you could do like a personal challenge. She's laughing at us. I wonder if we could do like a personal challenge where it's like one task at a time. Seriously, like one task at a time. And maybe for you, one business at a time, because you'll be doing like tasks for 3 different companies at the same time. And I'm like, okay, this may be self-inflicted slightly.
I have always said this, like, I'm not a believer actually in multitasking because our brains can't do it.
But you do it.
We flip. like we move from one to another very quickly, right? It's not
Anybody else want to call her out on that?
technically multitasking, but I will say throughout the day, as like far as work is concerned, I flip between clients
This is denial. She won't even
100
say
times a day.
multitask. It's
I
just
know.
flipping. Denial.
I mean, I am back and forth on clients all day.
I know you are. I know, yeah.
Well,
and that's like wearing the multiple hats and things, but like
I will say work-wise though, I do try not to actually multitask a lot because I track my time per client and you can't do that in a time tracker.
Okay, so that's fair.
So.
Angie would like to, she says, I think a wager is in order. I agree. Yeah, no, but see, I hear you on that. So you're allowed to have your flip-flopping. I just would love to watch you time track. Yeah, she's like total denial. I would love to watch you time track because it's probably like start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. It's like the chess clock, like top,
Yes.
top.
I mean, it is not unusual for me throughout the day to have, like, in my time tracker, I might have like 15 entries, but all of them are less than 5 minutes. Because I've like flipped from one client to another like 15 times, and each one of those tasks was less than 5 minutes. Like literally, it's a list like that.
I love you so much.
I mean, yeah, that's my day.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tomato, ladies and gentlemen.
I have been trying to be much better about like when I turn on my time tracker for a client, like working on all of my tasks for that client in the same like batch of time so that I'm not back and forth so much. But that doesn't always happen.
No, Angie,
but
we need
time
an
tracker
intervention over here.
Well, and my time tracker is also supposed to be so that when you work for clients based on time, then you bill them based on that time. And so the time tracker is built that way. So it won't let you double time on clients because you can't technically bill that way. Yeah. So I can't double time on tasks on my time tracker.
Get it. It makes sense. It's just still.
Now, I can't say that my brain isn't thinking of 400 other things at the same time, you know?
Well, and that's the reason that we get to laugh at you is all of us are doing this. All of us are like, oh no, I don't multitask. I'm very focused. I'm very accomplished.
Oh no,
I'm very productive.
I did not say I was focused.
Okay,
let's clarify.
Get a little truth out of you today. Okay, cool.
I did not say I was focused.
Yeah, and then just so you don't feel like the only sacrificial lamb, I was laughing. How many of us have done this? Like, I will keep it PG, but it's hilarious. Like, okay, so I'm doing so I'm wrapping up a client meeting yesterday that went so well. It was a dude, by the way, which I was like shocked. I was like, oh, what? Maybe it's not horrible working with men after all. Okay, fine. He was fabulous. Anyway, so I'm finishing up our session. I'm talking about multitasking. This is just too funny. So I want to share that I was just flipping between tasks and I'm doing summary meeting notes, uploading the recording from the session, building the Google Drive and organizing the like brand layout for the next meeting. So I'm waiting for the upload to happen. So I go in and make a cup of tea. So I put on the water and then I go and use the restroom and I'm like, oh, pee really fast. And I'm like, started giggling because I was like, what are we rushing for? Like, we have no more meetings this afternoon. There is no time trial on this. Like, no one has the time clock. Like, what am I actually doing? And just kind of sat there and I was like, have you ever laughed by yourself? By the way, it's just ridiculous because then when you get the giggles and you're by yourself, you're more embarrassed with the fact that you're like laughing by yourself alone and it's more funny. And then you just have to catch yourself. And like, I don't know. I thought that like two cats would give me some type of like roommate vibe or experience of such, but I think I've been left alone for too long. including my client meeting, because I'm just like, I either need to get out or I need a sanity check or just something. Cause like and then I'm just like, okay, I'm going to calmly relieve myself. Thank you so much. I put on hand lotion before I leave the bathroom, obviously wash my hands, do all the things, like try and slow myself down, then go finish making my tea and then go back. If anyone has sanitary questions, I don't want to hear this. I was clean. I washed my paws. I'm just saying, this is my way back, that like we all catch ourselves in these times where we're like, just kerfluffled. And then we got to slow down and be like, okay, like really, like,
Yeah. What's really going
how
on
am
here?
I really living this life? Am I rat racing the crap out of it? Or am I like just doing what I need to do, having a good life? And I think when you start straining elbows, knees, and toes, might be time to just take a moment for self-reflection.
I mean, yes.
I swear to God, if you pop out a toe, I'm going to be like, okay, wait a minute. Like,
it's just for me, I'm like the most least drama person in the world. Like I don't have a lot of drama in my life. And I like it that way. And so like, this feels like a lot of drama centered around me. And I'm like, this is driving me crazy. It has to work itself out. I enjoy other people's drama on reality TV a lot. I just don't want it for myself. And I feel like I'm there.
Right. Yeah. You've got a couple of things just piling up enough that it's kind of
I'm feeling a little high maintenance right now and I don't like it.
The wrong type of high maintenance.
Like the wrong type of high maintenance. Exactly.
Right. I want a different type of high maintenance.
Yeah. Right.
I get that. So yeah, we're falling apart, ladies and gentlemen. Well, actually, Ronnie is.
I'm falling apart. And let me tell you, this has started since my birthday. If this is what 46 is like, I'm out. I'm giving it back. Or
return it. Like just send it back.
Sending it back. I'm going back to 45. We'll start again next year.
Yeah. Angie's just laughing at us, which I appreciate. We get a bunch of the little emojis like flying out, just laughing at us. Thank you. We appreciate you. That's the thing. You got to be able to have laughs, humor, laugh at yourself. You've got to just be able to enjoy life, which is, how we like it. But yeah, stop falling apart and I'll stop burning it down. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm making moves on my side too, which will be interesting to let you all know about. But details.
Yeah. Well, and I will say that I'm going to sort of change the subject, but not, because I had this like 2 like little wins in the last couple of weeks that have been really nice. Well, probably one was a business win too, but these 2 you're going to really laugh at me for. So of course, we just had birthdays. And since this birthday, I am obviously now getting old and falling apart because that's what happens apparently when you turn 46. And so I'm really kind of pissed off about it. Well, a couple of weeks ago, the neighbor came over and was sitting on the back deck with Alan, and it was like right around my birthday. And he was like, "Oh, happy birthday." I was like, "Thanks." And I said something about being 46, and he was like, "Whoa, wait a second." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I didn't even think you were 40 yet." And I was like, "You're my new best friend. Thanks." So I was like, yeah, still got it. And so then last night, Alan was on the phone with another one of his friends that who were his friend and me are Facebook friends. So he sees like all of my stuff. Alan's not on Facebook, but he sees all of my stuff because we're friends on Facebook. And he was like, "Oh yeah, Ronnie's not even 40 yet, right?" Alan was like, "These people must think I'm like robbing the cradle or something because because they all know how old he is." And they're like, "Yeah, he's not even 40 yet." And I'm like, yeah.
I could see that. And like looking at how graceful your mom has aged, I think the 2 of you are going to age very well. My mom did too. My dad did too. A weird thing. Yeah, they didn't like I would say they kind of stopped. My mom probably at like 55, my dad at like 60. They didn't really quite change much. It'd be interesting to see when they choose to love me again and call me what they look like. But yeah, mine will be eternal, but yours age very nice. So you've got good DNA.
Yeah, no, I know. And I have had people ask me like, "What's the secret?" And I was like, I can give you my skincare routine and all of the stuff that I do, because I do a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, I just have really good genetics.
That's awesome. No, that's a huge win. It's always nice to get a compliment. Like it's
Anyway.
weird because we aren't necessarily great at receiving them, but they are nice.
I know. Well, it's so like in my brain, I'm like, those were like 2 big wins for me in the last month. Yet I sold a great intensive last week. That should have been my highlight. But I'm like, no, people think I'm younger than 40.
I know. Don't tell Kathleen that our sales are not our motivators, that the compliments of our age is more motivational. She's going to kick us in the butt.
Exactly.
I wish I was, I know. Poor Kathleen. She's had to put up with me for so long.
I know.
Poor thing.
Oh my God. So anyway.
Damn it, girls. I know. Wouldn't she be feisty if she cussed more? Some days I wish, but she's just that subtle, like, that you're like, oh,
yeah.
It's worse.
It's just worse. The look. It's just the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I go quiet, run. If she looks at you, run. If Suha starts, it takes him so long. I don't really remember. He kind of snubs you a little, and then only once have not once, but a few times did I ever hear him like cuss in Turkish, and then you run for the locker rooms. Run! I don't know why that totally made me think of this. So side note, you know what we used to do? This is probably one of the times that made him cuss in Turkish. Crab apples. You know, the little apples, the like baby apples. Yeah. Okay. We used to take the bag of them and swim them. We had a 12-foot pool. So one side was 8 feet, the other side was 12 feet. So it's pretty deep. And I think 12, 16 feet. I don't know. Anyways, we had a high dive, so it was diving depth.
Yes.
And we would take a bag of the crab apples and pull it down to the grate or the filtration system underneath. And we would shove the bag in, and then you pull the bag out. And then when you were doing your laps, you'd swim down, grab an apple, take a bite and put it back in, and then like keep swimming. That was like one of the things we would do. And somebody left the grate open once, and all the apples started flooding to the surface. And the coaches are like, "What the fuck?" And then they learned what we were doing, and they actually incorporated it in for breath exercises. But it was like a whole thing. Yeah, I remember doing that. I was not in charge of it, but I did participate. I mean, sometimes.
I can totally see you actually being the mastermind of that.
No, I was the mastermind behind the shave parties. So this is definitely a swimmer thing, because you have to like shave your legs and arms and like whole body and stuff. And so I was the master behind coordinating the guy and girl shave parties before districts and state championships. Okay. And wish we had known about waxing. That would have been much easier, or the sugar stuff. But yeah, we'd line up, my mom and I don't know why no one ever questioned things that we did, but we went to like Rite Aid or a mini mart or something, and we get like 10 bottles of shaving cream, like a bunch of disposable razors, and then like veggie trays, and we would line it up in the locker rooms and then shave down the guys. It was like a sheep lineup, just shearing down the bowl. They shaved heads. I never shaved my head for swimming, but I'm getting close enough now. But yeah, it was a whole thing. Anyway, side tangent. Yeah. But that I was the only girl ever allowed in the guys' locker room. That was like my big claim to fame, because I was such a tomboy. They probably thought I was a dude at that time. But yeah, I helped a lot of them shave, to be honest. Yeah. And boy legs are so hard because they never shave. So it's not like that close shave. Like you got to basically like cut it down.
Like you
do. It's like a whole thing. And I'm like, oh. But you know, they're teenage boys, so it's mostly their legs, not like any back fur or anything crazy like that. But yeah, boys. I've definitely shaved many men in my lifetime. Weird fact, if anybody wanted to know.
That's totally random, but
I don't know. And my favorite part was I always told them about lotioning afterwards, because otherwise they get all the razor bumps and not know what to do, because they've never done this before. Like grooming our guy team. I think that's also why a lot of girls tried to become my friends, because they knew how close I was to the guys. So they'd like befriend me to date them.
Right.
Anybody else have stories? Like, where were you? What were you guys doing? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't have many stories like that.
We're gonna get you into the water world because there's way more fun things happening in there. But
Oh,
nowadays,
I got stories. They're just not like that. They're not those stories. They're not water stories. I have other stories.
no, I definitely.
I mean, we're lucky I'm not a mob wife right now, but
Oh yeah. Oh God, I want to be. That'd be fun. Yeah. No, I think my worst thing we ever did was we soaked the freshman boys' Speedos in conditioner, and so when they jumped in, they all went and slid off. And we would sud some of them so that when they'd swim, it was just like froth of like bubbles in the water. I mean, it's fine. It's hazing. Back in the day
hazing.
when you
I
were
was
allowed,
gonna say hazing.
it's not even hazy. It's just funny.
It is hazing, actually. So
I mean, dish soap, all I can say though, if you need to make bubbles, dish soap over shampoo works way better.
I mean, I would think that, yes. But
Yeah, off topic.
yeah, totally. Like this is a weird show.
I know. Sorry.
It's all right.
If anyone wanted depth and meaning, you
But
got.
you know what? This is truly how our conversations go, that people really are on the inside of what it's like. Like,
You know.
this is how it goes.
God, is that what we're gonna title this? Hernias and hazing.
That might be
We
it.
should delete this.
Like that might be it.
Netflix. We're gonna have to sign like a waiver.
Yeah. They're going to be like, here are the things you
Adult
can and
content.
cannot do.
True adult.
We're going to be on probation from day one.
Oh, I hope so. Why would you ever not be? Like,
Anyhow.
Okay. Any valuable tips that we could share? I don't know. Adulting is hard. That's what I want to say.
Oh, you know.
I am getting better at setting reservations.
Oh, good. That's good.
I don't.
You need that there.
I know.
Well, I feel like, yes, I have also like worked this month, but I've been so focused on like health, life things that I feel like I haven't done anything.
But I feel like that's important too for all of us to know, you know, when we're in the hustle culture, it is so not encouraged to have balance of life and health and all the things that like, this is why we're in these positions, because we're working the way that we work. And then it just kind of piles up that all one day, then boom, you've got a little bit of everything. I know my doctor's appointment was rescheduled, just which I'm kind of excited about now, because I was thinking all in one day, that was going to be a lot of like just touching. I was going to be like, get off of me. But just getting everything through. So I've got the doctor, the dentist, and the eye exam coming up. So get all that figured out. But yeah, we don't take time, and it's kind of hard. But I know personally, it was like I just needed a week to myself just to get like life stuff taken care of. I don't need it all the time, and I get it. Other people might have a better way that they just like trickle it in and somehow are able to do like both, but I don't.
I wrote a post about this not long ago on my Instagram about like this weird like work-life balance thing that never actually truly exists, and you never really get there. And I mean, like, so this week's been super crazy because I haven't felt good. On top of Olivia has
tell everyone what you did before going into
this is where I'm going with this. So like, I haven't felt good. I worked at a client's office all day on Monday. That was actually an hour and a half away. Like I drove an hour and a half, worked a 9-hour day, drove an hour and a half home, not feeling well. And Olivia has a broken tooth. So she had to go to the vet. So Tuesday, I get up, I had a stand up with a client. I get off, no more than get off of that. I take her to the vet to have blood work drawn for her procedure that's today. I come home and drop her off, go to my shoulder doctor, to have this done, walk downstairs to urgent care, who then makes the appointment for the ultrasound. And the earliest she could get me in was yesterday, so the next day, with the instructions of if this gets worse between now and then, go straight to the emergency room. Like, she actually scared me when she said it. She was like,
finally,
she was very very specific about, if this gets worse, you go to the emergency room. I'm like, okay. So that was like a full day of stuff. And of course, now she's freaked me out about like thinking there's something serious that, which is probably okay. But in my brain, then I go, okay, well, I have a bunch of client work that is like very dependent on me this week. And if they admit me tomorrow after an ultrasound, they like get an ultrasound and they're like, oh my God, there's something wrong with you. And they admit me. And it's like this emergency, like, so I shipped orders yesterday for By Way of Charleston because they needed to get out and they couldn't wait a whole other week if I ended up in the hospital. And then I came home and I called another client because they needed checks cut on Friday. And I was like, I might not be here on Friday. So I call him real quick and I was like, sorry for the scramble, but so I spent an hour with them running checks to get things set up.
Because she's totally in pain and should be admitted to the hospital. Girl.
But I will say, I got a lot done that like today and tomorrow is going to be nice and easy. Because I got everything done yesterday and
I feel like Angie's about to fly out to where you live and bop you on the back of the head.
I know. So yeah.
That's all. You know, it's funny. It's like, have you ever had unexpected company come and like all of a sudden you're able to clean the bathroom, the kitchen, the house, organize everything, yet on a weekend it takes you like 6 hours to clean all of that. There's this like weird phenomenon of, hyper productivity, but I definitely don't think that's helping any of your strains.
No, it did not, but it helped me mentally to know that the people that depended on me for specific things, it got done, at least the things that had to get done. And
I feel like I'm a good friend visualizing how to duct tape you to the couch and force you to watch movies all day. I'm a good friend.
The whole time, because the last time this happened to me, the last time this happened to me that I was this sick,
right,
I went into hospital for 14 days. Right. So,
which is still good, but most sick people just go down and like.
Well, so that's what made me want to prepare, is because my past experience was like that.
So Angie said, I plan parties just to force myself to get it all done in a short amount of time. The secret to life is out. Okay.
Parties is a good idea.
She goes, are we seeing a pattern?
I think we are.
Ronnie?
Yes.
I think she's still in denial though. She's still like, oh, I just was flipping between tasks before I was admitted. Like, it's okay, people. We got to go slow baby steps with her. I like this. I plan parties just to force myself to get it all done in a short amount of time.
That's kind of that same concept of like taking your laptop to a coffee shop without your charger.
Right.
Because my battery's only going to last 2 hours. Yeah. So what can get done in that 2 hours?
I don't want to.
But a party's actually like, that's a better result.
Yeah. I was like, but I think you're missing it, Ronnie. That's still productivity. No. Take your laptop to the cafe. She's planning parties. Yeah, you know what I usually she goes, okay, she goes, yeah, ... capitalized. No. Yeah, Ronnie is still not getting it, guys. It's okay. We'll help her slowly. We'll plan parties for her. We'll I know some of her local friends. We'll call. I'm gonna make some calls. Like, we need to get her drunk and unproductive. Like, something needs to happen here. I know I do this though. Like, I like scheduling dates during the work. Oh God, help me. I like scheduling dates during weekday times, because then I do that. I get like super productive and I'm like, oh, I've got a happy hour at 6. So like, I got to get everything done before then. And it's kind of a motivation.
Yeah.
So I think I get at least a point towards Angie's life hack, but you fail.
No, I'm failing at life and fun and all of that stuff. I'm failing.
I'm
failing.
Yeah, it's okay though. I mean, and she's just laughing at us. I like your diagnosis. Parties, off time, you must finish Merpeople. Must. It's part of the diagnostic.
I will.
Recovery program.
No, that is definitely, like, I've started it. That's on the next, I will finish that.
Ever not mute other people around you and just be like, excuse me, I'm watching this. I even made the cats eat dinner late. I was that committed.
Wow.
You can wait.
Well, I mean, when there's another human in your house.
I know. I don't know about that.
There's so much talking.
And you have me as a bestie, so God forbid.
Well, it's one of those things that, like, so last night specifically he was very relieved that all it was is just a hernia and it's something we can figure out, and like, I'm not dying. So he's super relieved, hence makes him very chatty. And I was in the mood of like, I'm super relieved right now too. And this introvert like needs some quiet time because it's been a lot of peopling for me lately. And he just kept talking. So I just like, I just muted it. I just paused it and was like, I'm not getting out of this.
Like,
I'm not getting out of this. So I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to sit and listen.
Bath bomb. Like, what's your definition of relax? Like, I'd probably say hot shower or something. Like, what would yours?
I go walk.
God, she's still fucking productive. She's still on the move. Okay. So it's a little harder. I was hoping for something more stationary that I could like close you into a space and have happen. Like, I can't lock you in the bathroom to like, bath bomb it up, or I can't be like lock you in the kitchen and just give you a bottle of wine and be like, wine, straw, let's go. No. Okay. God, I'm gonna have to like chase after you while you're like walking in peace.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like walking or dancing, like that's my meditation.
And the dancing too, but not to the straining of muscles.
Yeah, no, I'm actually debating on Zumba tonight. Like, I'm like, I feel better. I can go. And now I'm like, I need to not go tonight. Like,
is there like a Zumba for elderly class or something?
There is.
Just be like
there
lower?
is. Yes, it's called Zumba Gold. There is.
Okay, I think you should do that. Yeah. So I'm not sure where she's at with this, but Angie says like a walk in nature, Ronnie. No, she means like around a track. I'm pretty sure there's a track. It's something round because I know she takes laps on the damn thing.
So my street actually is a loop. So I just walk in a neighborhood. Yeah, the street, in a neighborhood is a loop, and I go around it. No, I am not a hiker.
No.
Like, my idea of camping is staying at Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
So yes, I walk out. I walk outside, but it is not a nature walk by any means.
Yeah. My new nature walk is walking to the waterfront. That's my nature walk.
Right. Like, yeah. I mean,
Which I would really like to learn how to hop on a boat and get carried through the harbor and dropped off at the front, but that's me wanting to walk. I get it. Anywho, well, yeah, I don't know. I think you shouldn't consider taking the Zumba Gold class and maybe
see, this is where this now is a
water.
conflict.
Oh, go back to the water Zumba.
Well, those are Wednesday nights. I do need to do, like, that would be great. Those are those are Wednesday nights, and I do need to do that because they're very low impact.
Yeah, I was gonna say low impact. You can still strain yourself, but
yes,
I'm trying to
definitely
put the
more
Energizer
low
in a slower state.
Impact. But see, the whole like going to the Zumba Gold stuff on the like older classes, I just got complimented that I look younger than 40.
It's not about an age, like, it's not, oh my God, help me. It's not about age qualification. It's about not hurting yourself.
I know that, but I'm vain that way. I'm sorry. I'm going to admit it.
You're going to have like a small
Okay.
pod of elderly Zumba, highly flexible and well-fit Zumba ladies attack you. You know that, right? Like, you can't be saying this about your Zumba gold ladies. They're just going to come up in the night.
Now, my Zumba ladies that are older do not do Zumba Gold. They would never do it. Like, they can outcircle me in class.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Do not diss the,
like, my 70-year-old girlfriends that do Zumba with me will outdance me any day.
you know, it's like Kathleen.
Yes.
She'd outdo us any day, without a doubt. Yeah,
Yes, she would.
Here's the thing. I think you need to save this productivity for later in life. I think there's a balance issue here. Like, you're doing it too young.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You got to pace yourself. You got to push this off.
Okay. So this is actually what I think needs to happen.
This is what cracked the egg, ladies and gentlemen.
This is what I think needs to happen. I think I need to start interviewing for my next rich husband, so I don't have to work at all, and I can just do all of these activities that I really want to do.
And hurt how many body parts at that point?
Yeah, but see, I don't have to work and stress over that, so I'd be a whole lot easier. That's the balance part. I need a second rich husband.
Duct taping you to a couch.
I need a second rich husband. This will solve everything.
Just get your medical bills paid.
Well, that too, actually.
I know what you're trying to do.
Maybe
be more productive.
Maybe it needs to be a doctor.
Oh God, you're going to need a general practitioner though, because you're going to be in all different types. If you get a specialist, and you know, the generalists don't make what the specialists do. So this is still an issue for you. You've got to like pick your poison of injury now. Like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. That's all we have for you. We're calling it. This has probably killed a neuron in all of us. We are all going to send Ronii some very good vibes, because when left alone and unattended, she strains things. And then she calls it just flipping between activities, not multitasking. We have a case of denial on aisle 2.
I'm glad I could be
a contributing factor.
I'm glad I could be the example for others. Let's do better.
Let's do better. Okay. Anywho, guys, this is why you should really call the hotline. This is why you should leave questions in the comments. This is why you should work with us, because if you don't, we just talk, and this is what you're going to get. So, I mean,
this has
really,
been our life for a month. So,
like what Kardashians are talking about, though, between who they dated, who, you know, whatever. I mean, it's really not that.
We can do that too.
Yeah.
We're the next
God, if they saw my lineup. Oh.
Well, like I said, I'm getting ready to start interviewing.
All right. Well,
anyway,
if you have questions, comments, concerns, or emotional outbursts, please hop into the chat now, live, on the replay, at any point in your lives, because we're still going to do this, because this is our baby passion project that we really like. Are looking for champagne sponsorships at any time.
And a Netflix hookup. So
yeah, that's all. Call us, let us know. Angie, we hope you have a beautiful day.
Yes.
Hope you have
Thanks,
a great
Angie.
day. And we will see you all next week for another episode. Thursdays at what time?
Noon Eastern time.
Eastern. Good job, everybody. We will see you back next Thursday. Right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
No, it's not working. It's not going to happen. Okay. Bye.